Walking into this season, we all should have known that Anthony Edwards was capable of a high level of play, but so far with the performances he's been having, I'm sure some of you might be taken by surprise. Being more precise, controlled, and effective on the court, if you watch some Timberwolves games this year, you can see the leap Edwards has made coming into his fourth season, and trust me, this is the year Anthony Edwards will put everyone on notice who is still sleeping on him. Whether it goes from driving to the rack, to then knocking down shots from the mid-range or deep, or all the way to his facilitating, in every aspect of the game, he has been making an impact, and this is all a testament to his hard work during the offseason. Last season, I thought a big thing Ant could work on coming into this year is his facilitating. There were many times he would miss the open man or be a little too late, but early into this season, I've been seeing a major difference in his reads on the floor. As the Utah Jazz run a zone on this play, this means that the backside man has to move along the baseline to find the gap, and here you see Gobert move right into that gap of space with ease, so it's a perfect lob right over the top of the defense for the alley-oop connection. The quickness within these reads is the difference between an open look or a turnover, so if he throws this pass just a split second later, he could have ran into the double or one of the defenders could have got a hand on it, but instead it's this slick pass right in between for the Naz Reid money ball. It's amazing to see that Edwards realizes that defenses lock in on him, so when their eyes are glued to him, these bounce passes right off the roll can be so seamless. Just by being more of a threat on the facilitating side of things, it unlocks his game even more, making the defense be wary of what he will do with the ball next. Averaging 26 points and 4 assists per game, across 5 games so far, Edwards is shooting 50% from the field and 53% from deep. So however he needs to get a bucket for the offense, he can do so, and you can obviously see that Minnesota is trusting to run the offense through him even more. With this high level of confidence coming into this season, if defenders don't crowd Edwards and they allow him to get into this combo size up, well with this space he creates if you don't step up, then he'll rise up to drill it home. Defenders will tend to back up when he's pushing at them, so if they aren't careful enough, then they'll be victim to what I like to call a walk down 3, where he dots it right in the defender's eye. This is only capable because he's such a threat to drop to the basket if there's an angle, so even the slightest jab step will make the defense bite hard, and it's nothing but net. Edwards has been a pretty decent shooter from deep, especially off the catch and fire, so seeing him improve even more with his pull-up shooting from deep expands his game that much more. Not only will defenders be running him off the line when closing out, but now when he's sizing them up and dishing out crossovers, they'll be worried if he's going to rise up over them to pull up for the shot. Take this play here for an example. As Edwards receives the screen on the sideline, once he gets that handoff from Gobert, Caruso fights hard to get out. So Ant just takes that one rhythm dribble directly into the pull-up. Just so you know this isn't a one-off thing, you'll see this happen again as Porter leaps out to Edwards here, and bada bing, it's a bucket. These pulls from that in-between area literally open up your game completely because defenses now have to worry about your presence everywhere on the floor. Some players affect the game by just attacking the inside, some affected by being deadly snipers, and some even affected doing both. But when you have someone who can pour it in from all 3 levels, this is what makes a player great. Sure, the examples you just seen were more on the basic side of things, but trust me, Ant can get in his bag when he's operating on the court. On 30 attempts so far this season, Ant has converted on 46% of his mid-range shots, which is a great sign to see so far. That same way defenders would back up when he's coming down the floor getting into those threes happens with the mid-range setups as well, so when Murray is backpedaling and Ant is mixing him up with the combo, he stands no chance and Edwards just knocks it down in his face. When pushing up the court versus the Hawks, this in and out before using the screen shifts Hunter out the way, so once he does use the screen, he can get to that sweet spot at the elbow and pull right up. Quite simple, right? The moves Edwards is using are very precise as he's showing a brand new level of focus out there, so by knowing Schroeder is trailing behind him, just being patient, he uses this up fake which makes Schroeder get on that trampoline, and it's an easy bucket from about 15 feet out. Not only does the focus help him notice the defender creeping behind him, but when he realizes that he will run into not just 1, but 3 defenders on this push towards the middle, Edwards quickly snatches back and the jumper is cash. Trust me, take my word for it, Ant is nobody to play with when it comes to him having to create a look for himself. I mean, look at how swiftly he breaks down the defense on the pursuit to the rim, and once getting cut off, he just spins back to bank this off the glass fading away. If you don't think these shots are beautiful, I don't really know what to tell you, because look at his teammates on the bench after he knocks down this wonder of a shot out the post up. So yeah, you see how special Ant can be with his shooting stroke? Well guess what, that's not even the best thing about his game. When you look at the way Ant attacks the rim, this is when you can really see how good of a player he is and will be. With that threat of shooting from the outside, it keeps the defense honest, so now this angle opens up for a straight line drive, and as quickly tries to swipe at the ball, Ant uses his acrobatic ability to move around him and place this softly off the glass. It's like once you think you have a perfect angle to cut Edwards off, well, you're all out fooled because he can maneuver his body so well in these situations, and right before your eyes, he's laying it up right past you. That great body control is a huge focal point in Ant's driving because without it, he wouldn't be able to finish the layups he does, nor would he be able to finesse his way to the rim on the drive. In the open floor is possibly where Edwards is the most dangerous. As you can see on this attack, Edwards changes his pace on his last 2 steps, which allows him to draw that contact and then stay focused to complete the and one. Other times, it doesn't have to be the patience on the drive that shows the body control, but if a defender is in his way, he can initiate that contact first with the bump, and instead of flying out the bounds trying to throw the ball at the hoop, he can instead keep his gravity centered so he can bank this right off the center of the glass. Stopping Ant when it comes to him getting to the rim is probably one of the most difficult things the defense has to worry about because he has many ways he can get there, but then he also has many ways he can finish. When you're a defender just standing still, basically waiting on Ant to make his move, well, you're pretty much cooked because now you're at his mercy, and Edwards will make you look lost as he euros right around you and then proceeds to lay this up with some English through the traffic plus the foul. Using that same Euro step, if Ant doesn't get the space he thought he would, then he has no problem getting a little creative and uses this left hand, baby hook, floater type like finish, just making things look easy even though that finish is highly difficult. Sure, those Euros are beautiful to watch, but let's say he can't use that, then when getting cut off, this nasty spin move through the double is delivered, and that's all she wrote. It's truly ridiculous all the ways he can attack the rack and finish, and this will take his game to the highest level possible. Finishing inside is not only the easiest bucket on the court besides a free throw, but it also allows you to put pressure on the defense when going downhill and give you more of a chance at drawing a foul. In my humble opinion, Anthony Edwards is creeping up to be a top 10 player in the league as long as he stays improving at this pace. He can confidently score from the outside, the in-between area, and is a bona fide threat if he pushes at you with intentions to score right at the basket. There's just so many weapons he can pull out his bag that it makes the defense have a long game, night in and night out. Hopefully he can stay consistent throughout the year and continue to put up great numbers, as this will not only help the Timberwolves elevate higher, but it will just be compounding improvement to his overall game. How do you all feel about Anthony Edwards so far? Let me know down below and let's discuss. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like before heading over to watch this Luka Doncic game breakdown. I appreciate you all for your support, and I'll see you in the next video.